All right, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Billionaires Club 101. Today's topic is there any truth to Jesus Christ? Uh, so let me just tell you where this conversation came about. I know a gentleman, he's an atheist. Now, for those who don't know what an atheist is a person who does not believe in God, right? So myself I'm a believer. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in the Holy Spirit. That's my beliefs. Not everybody's going to believe what I believe, and I'm not here to tell you how to believe, what to believe, and when to believe. But for myself, I believe in Jesus. And the reason why I do believe in Jesus, just certain things that just make sense to me. We could talk about the earth, we could talk about the sun, we could talk about the moon and stars. Think about all those things that we know about these things that we're talking about. So let's take the sun for example. The sun is set in a certain position, certain many miles away from the earth. If it had to be a little bit more closer, there would be no life be able to walk on earth because it's too hot. We will not be able to survive if the sun is too close, right? Just imagine if we didn't have the sun, it'd be too cold. We wouldn't be able to survive the extreme cold that is possible if we did not have our sun. All right, so oxygen. Our earth is blessed to have oxygen. We can breathe. We can walk the earth because there's oxygen. Certain life forms are produced by certain elements of what we have on earth. But if you're looking at, well, it's all about science, all about evolution, it's about certain things, this and there's certain things that think about what you're saying, evolution. The dinosaurs were extinct. Look at the definition of extinct. The dinosaurs extinct. You say it evolved from these type of animals. It's a derivative of this type of animal. It's derived of this, that, and the other. The dinosaurs are extinct. Archaeologists have been finding bones several miles deep underneath the Earth atmosphere, finding these fossils. Right? They're extinct. They didn't move into one environment based on the Earth's changes and certain things, and they also suddenly shrunk so small that, they're not these historic beasts that they were at one point in time. Right? Think about humans. People say, "Oh, we evolved out of ape-like creatures. We were on all fours at one point in time, and then, Homo erectus and Homo whomever. You got a lot of homos. No pun intended, but all these Homo sapiens and Homo erectus and Homo whatever. And if you listen to the things that you learn in school about evolution and all these things, okay, but then you gotta listen to this part. And people are talking about, it's all about science and science this and science that. That's what it is. This guy's saying, it's all science. The Big Bang Theory, the comet dust, whatever dust that you're trying to say that humans evolved from. But my thinking is this, okay? So a man and woman come together, become intimate, and if the lady is blessed by God and says she's able to have a baby, then she becomes pregnant. It has to be a 9-month pregnancy, up to 9 months. It can be a little less sometimes, based on their full term. But some babies are born premature. We get into that as well. So say lady carries a baby for 9 months, and you used to have natural birth and didn't have the hospitals, had the midwives and things like that will help bring the baby along and soothe the mother of her pain and all those things. The baby becomes healthy. The mother takes the baby, nurtures her baby until the baby is able to do it on their own. Now, if we're looking at evolution, and we're looking at science, and we came from out of some a monkey or whatever they're trying to say. How about the first one? Who gave birth to that first one? Right? Who gave birth to the first Homo whoever? Homo erectus or Homo sapiens? Who gave the first one that was ever on Earth, that walked the Earth? They have to become an infant. In that infancy stage, who fed that person? Who fed the person to be that first person on earth? Who fed them? Who gave them the nutrition, the nutrition that they needed to sustain life? Just think about when you're, if you have kids or you know someone who has kids, a baby can't crawl to make their own food. A baby can't. Back in those days, you have these huge animals. A baby couldn't kill a bird or anything at all. They couldn't walk. These things have to be learned.
Okay.
So how do you say that so how do you say that we're so let me just say this to you before we get into too much details. I've said a lot. An infant, think about this, an infant, toddler, adolescence, teenage, adult. You have to be an adult with some sort of bravery. And back in those days, you didn't have certain types of weapons. You had to create your own weapons. Where did you get the knowledge from to create those weapons, to say, this is something I need? Where you get the intelligence to say, this is what I need to kill this animal? It wasn't taught. Wasn't learned. So this is where act of God had came in and put the first human on the earth. It's like, then he says, well, what color is Jesus Christ? Let me just say this to you. All that, what color is, all you have to know is Jesus Christ, he did exist, he still exists within the spirit, and God does exist as well. And if you're a person that does not believe, think about what I just said. You think about science and evolution, all these things. Where do we get the intelligence from? Yes, if we derive from ape-like creatures and evolution, if you really believe in evolution, well, certain things so evolution is something going from one form to another form, and it evolves into that form. It no longer can go back to be the form that it started. So if you're coming from ape-like creatures, there are still ape-like creatures still exist, right? So my opinion is to everyone who does not believe, just get a reality of, think about, okay, another thing, look at this. The chicken or the egg? What came first? What came first, the chicken or the egg? In order for you to get an egg, you must have a chicken that lays it, right? Or think about this. In order for a chicken to be there, it needs to crack out of an egg. So, how do you not explain that act of God have to take place for us to be here? An act of God to take place for our earth to have their own system. The earth has its own system. Think about that. It knows when to stay daylight. It knows when to turn nighttime. It knows that the stars in the sky can light up the earth. The moon is set in certain positions to change the current of certain flows of the ocean, right? The month of the years, it's going to be cold, it's going to be hot. So we have a certain system based on what the earth tells us what to do. And it also says that God did exist based on certain things that you see around you. How do you go to certain parts of the world where no one's tending vegetation? You have beautiful flowers, beautiful greenery, just everything is just plushed. How do you explain that? Acts of God. So for those who don't believe in God, we definitely apologize for your ignorance. I have to say ignorance because lack of knowledge is being ignorant. And just read some books. Think deep in your heart. Think about how you are able to survive. Are you able to survive without your mother bringing you through the womb and birthing you and nurturing you, giving you the nutrition? And you couldn't do that as a toddler. You couldn't feed yourself. You couldn't make the fire, buy the foods and all those things. We know that certain animals, if it's not cooked at certain temperatures, you get all types of bacteria and all those things. So who gave us the knowledge? Who gave us the wisdom? All those things. God himself. So I want to say thank you for tuning in to Billionaires Club 101. We just have to go religious for that moment. And I want to say thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.